Ladies and gentlemen, the theme for the next session is Sustainability, Planet over Profit, and I would like to invite on stage Mr. Vinod Malavia to moderate the session. Mr. Vinod Malavia, Chairman of GUJC Task Force of GCCI and Executive Committee member. Please welcome Mr. Malavia. He also stands as a highly acclaimed entrepreneur in the field of water and wastewater treatment. और जोरदार तालियों के साथ स्वागत करते हैं the esteemed guest of our next session, none other than Miss Dia Mirza. Our next very special guest blends the combination of creativity and commerce, trade and tradition, wisdom and vision. Using her platform and influence, she has been making a meaningful change in society. Known for her captivating performances on screen, she has also channelized her passion and vision into the entrepreneurial activities that align with her strong values. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the celebrated actor and a passionate entrepreneur, the producer, eco-investor, UN SDGs advocate, and UNEP Goodwill Ambassador, Ms. Dia Mirza. It's an absolute pleasure and honor to have you with us today on the dais, ma'am. A very warm welcome to you. And I would request Mr. Apurva Bhai Shah, Vice President, GCCI, and Mr. Gaurang Bhagat, Honorary Secretary, to kindly come upon the stage and present a memento to our special guest, Ms. Dia Mirza, the powerhouse of talent, beauty, positivity, with a memento. So without wasting a moment, I would directly request Mr. Malavia to kindly open this fireside chat. Over to you.
Hello. Thank you, Prapti, for a wonderful introduction. And एक बार जोरदार तालियां मिस दिया मिर्जा के लिए. तालियां बच्चे हैं चाहिए. She's a part of Gujarat Chamber of Commerce and Industry. थोड़ी एनर्जी कम लग रही मुझे. Keep continuing. And today's topic is very, very close to my heart, her heart, और सभी के दिलों के काफी नजदीक हैं. आज हम बात करेंगे सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट की. दोस्तों, एक ऐसा देश जो केलों के पत्ते पे खाना खाता था, एक ऐसा देश जो मिट्टी के बर्तन में खाना पकाता था, कुल्हड़ में चाय पी के मिट्टी की सौंधी खुशबू लेता था, अहिंसा परमो धर्म के विचारों पर चलने वाला हमारा देश और वसुधैव कुटुंबकम में बिलीव करने वाला हमारा देश आज विकास की अंधी दौड़ में शायद से ऐसा दौड़ रहा है कि हम हमारे अस्तित्व में शायद से अपनी जड़ों से अपने अस्तित्व को खतरे में डालकर आगे बढ़ रहे हैं. आज हम चर्चा करेंगे सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट की, एनवायरमेंटल डिग्रेडेशन की, ग्लोबल वार्मिंग की, क्लाइमेट चेंज की. और न सिर्फ बात होगी, बाकी हमारे बीच में जो शख्सियत मौजूद है, जो पर्सनालिटी मौजूद है, जिन्होंने पिछले कई वर्षों में ऐसे काम किए हैं जिनसे सीखने के लिए हमारे पास बहुत कुछ है. हम लोग बात करेंगे अवेयरनेस से एक्शन की ओर. तो एक बार जोरदार तालियों से फिर से स्वागत करिए मिस दिया मिर्जा. She's a secretary of UN, United States for the Sustainable Development Goal. तो जब मैं बात करता हूँ कि सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल, तो कल हमारा एक सेशन था विकसित भारत 2047, और कोई भी देश जब तक विकसित नहीं हो सकता है जब तक हम सस्टेनेबिलिटी को हमारे बिजनेस का हिस्सा नहीं बनाएंगे। तो आज का टॉपिक यही है कि हम प्रॉफिटेबल के साथ साथ सस्टेनेबल कैसे बने। बट मैं अपने क्वेश्चंस पर जाता हूं उससे पहले दिया, आई वुड लाइक टू अंडरस्टैंड फ्रॉम यू, बिकॉज film is all about the glamour, fame, and driven by fame and fortune. So from red carpet to green carpet, from red carpet to green cause. So what inspired you to come out from that forte and stand for the environment, for the planet? What inspired you?
थैंक यू मालवीय जी, आपने बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट बातें कही और उस वार्म इंट्रोडक्शन के लिए भी तहे दिल से
हाँ,
शुक्रिया। थैंक यू। एम आई ऑडिबल? कैन एवरीवन हियर मी क्लियरली? वंडरफुल। Malviya ji is absolutely right. Being in the film world can be a very insulating experience. आपके और लोग होते हैं घिरे हुए, आपको प्रोटेक्ट करते हुए, आपको रोज़ाना ज़िंदगी के साथ उतना इंटरेक्ट करने का मौका नहीं मिलता, तो आपका व्यू पॉइंट भी काफ़ी इंसुलर हो जाता है। आपका जो इमोशनल या फिज़िकल या मेंटल एक्सपेंशन है वो अपने किरदारों से या कहानियों से होता है। मेरी शुरुआत फिल्म जगत में 19 साल की उम्र में हुई, लेकिन उसके पहले जो मेरी जो अपब्रिंगिंग थी, जो मेरे सोच विचार थे, जो मेरा फाउंडेशन था, नींव था, वो एक ऐसे सोच से जुड़ा था जो प्रकृति से बहुत गहराई से जुड़ा हुआ है। मैं एक ऐसे स्कूल गई थी हैदराबाद में जिसका नाम है विद्या अरण्य, जिसका डायरेक्ट ट्रांसलेशन है फॉरेस्ट ऑफ एजुकेशन। हमारी पढ़ाई पेड़ों के नीचे होती थी, कोई यूनिफॉर्म नहीं, कोई एग्जामिनेशंस नहीं, कोई कंपटीशन नहीं, कोई ग्रेड्स नहीं, कोई रैंक्स नहीं, और हम आईसीएसई सिलेबस पढ़ रहे थे और 10th स्टैंडर्ड में 100% रिजल्ट्स लेकर आते थे। कोई भी एक बच्चा उस स्कूल में फेल नहीं होता था। तो ये सोचने वाली बात है कि जब हम प्रकृति से इतने गहराई से जुड़ जाते हैं, उसके साथ एक डेली इंटरेक्शन बन जाता है, तो एक गहरा प्यार बन जाता है। यू लर्न टू रिस्पेक्ट, वैल्यू, अप्रिशिएट एंड लर्न फ्रॉम अ वेरी यंग एज that you are not separate from nature, that you are a part of a natural system that facilitates everything that you need, from the clean air you breathe, to the food you eat, to the water you drink, all your resources are coming from nature. और जब ये छोटे बच्चे के दिमाग में बात अच्छे से बैठ जाती है, तो फिर वो आप ज़िंदगी भर भूल नहीं पाते। तो यस, फिल्मी जगत जो एक बहुत ही एस्केपिस्ट वर्ल्ड माना जाता है, उसमें आप खो सकते हैं, लेकिन आई थिंक इट वाज माय वेरी अर्ली इंटरेक्शंस विद सिविल सोसाइटी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हु यूज्ड टू अप्रोच मी एंड से, हम लोग कैंसर केयर के लिए काम कर रहे हैं, बच्चे जो कैंसर से जूझ रहे हैं उनके लिए काम कर रहे हैं, क्या आप आकर हमारी समस्या को समझ के उसका प्रचार कर पाएंगे? विल यू हेल्प अस रेज फंड्स, विल यू हेल्प अस डू एवरीथिंग? एंड आई थिंक इट वाज आल्सो द फैक्ट दैट मैं सिर्फ हेल्प, आई डिडंट वांट टू बी विंडो ड्रेसिंग। तो हेल्प तो मतलब यू कैन जस्ट शो अप एंड से अ फ्यू वर्ड्स एंड लीव, बट आई वांटेड टू रियली हेल्प, सो आई स्टार्टेड आस्किंग क्वेश्चंस। और ये मैं 2000 की बात कर रही हूँ, आफ्टर विनिंग द मिस एशिया पैसिफिक, इंडिया वापस आने के बाद, बिफोर आई एक्चुअली इवन स्टार्टेड फिल्म वर्क। So I used to ask the doctors कि ये क्यों हो रहा है? Why is the rate of cancer growing rapidly across the country? Why is it more intense in certain areas? Why are more children and women grappling with cancer? आज की statistics के हिसाब से 1 in 3 people have cancer, and it's terrifying. So the answer was environmental pollution, degradation and contamination of food, water, soil and air, all of this contributes to a rise in cancer. And just about that time, Malviji, I started working with Sanctuary Nature Foundation. बिट्टू सहगल जो जिनको मैं अपना मेंटर समझती हूँ, उन्होंने मुझे अपने देश के बहुत सारे जंगलों में वो ले गए, मुझे जो ग्राउंड रियलिटीज़ है वो दिखाई, मैं समझने लगी कि क्या हो रहा है. We started working with farmers, we started working with वन rakshaks, we started working with all kinds of incredible conservation organizations across the country and realized that बहुत बढ़िया काम हो रहा है, but it's happening in silos, and maybe I can use my public voice and my public position to bring a bridge, to act as a bridge or a conduit between these incredible people and the extraordinary work they're doing with civil society. So when I started working on wildlife protection and climate action, it was over 20 years ago. And at the time, nobody in mainstream media was giving any of these subjects the kind of attention we're beginning to see. We're still a far way off, but we're beginning to see a deeper understanding of it. And I think we can give ourselves a pat on the back to say maybe we played a small part in bringing the focus on these subjects and convincing the world that we need to start paying more attention to the quality of our air, our water, our food, our soil, and the urgency and necessity of environmental health and protection.
So what a fantastic answer दिया. I think it's truly inspiring. और कहीं ना कहीं मुझे लग रहा है कि it is not your passion, it's all about the purpose. Moving on, like you become a UNEP ambassador for a climate change, then you become a Secretary General of United Nations for Sustainable Development Goal. इस यात्रा में ये जो 5 से 7 साल की यात्रा थी, so apart from your this upbringing and value system, any inspiring story or any incident happened during this journey of becoming a support ambassador, which was awakened you like?
I think 9 साल पहले मेरी पहली बार यूनेप हेडक्वार्टर्स में नायरोबी में उनके डायरेक्टर से मुलाकात हुई और मैंने तभी एक बहुत खूबसूरत शो शूट किया था कुछ महीनों पहले. उस शो का नाम है गंगा द सोल ऑफ इंडिया, जिसमें मेरी यात्रा गंगोत्री से गंगा सागर तक हुई. और उस यात्रा में मेरे ऑब्वियसली गंगा के साथ बहुत इंटरैक्शंस हुए, लेकिन उसके साथ साथ हमारी सभ्यता, हमारी सोच, पर्यावरण और प्रकृति का जो इम्पैक्ट और इन्फ्लुएंस हमारे हर मतलब ज़िंदगी के हर पहलू में नज़र आता है, चाहे वो हमारा टेक्सटाइल हो या क्राफ्ट हो या हैंडीक्राफ्ट हो या आर्किटेक्चर हो या खाने का जो हमारे रेसिपीज़ हो या हमारी पोइट्री हो या हमारे गाने हो, हर पहलू में इस खूबसूरत नदी का एहसास दिखता है और प्रकृति का एहसास नज़र आता है. और इस यात्रा के दौरान मैंने बहुत ज़्यादा प्लास्टिक वेस्ट पोल्यूशन देखा. और जब आप प्लास्टिक पोल्यूशन ऐसे जगहों में देखते हैं विच आर naturally pristine and are beautiful, वो कहा जाता है ना, human beings are the only species that create waste that pollutes. No other species on the planet creates waste that pollutes or causes ill health. So when you're in a natural environment, especially like when you're in a place like Gangotri, which is a place of worship, it's pristine, it's beautiful, it's powerful. When you stand there and you experience the source of the beginning of time, literally, but you see plastic waste, it does something to you deep inside. So the first question I asked the director of the United Nations Environment Program was, ये पिछले 50 साल में प्लास्टिक तो इनोवेट हो गया, उसका प्रोडक्शन शुरू हो गया. Practically everything that we consume today comes packaged in plastic. Did no one account for the waste that we would be generating from this plastic? And if so, why? And he looked at me and he said, your timing is perfect because we are just about to get into one of the most important public campaigns that is centered and focused on plastic pollution. Today, as we are gathered here today, science has evidenced the fact that microplastics, क्योंकि plastics environment में हजारों सालों तक रह जाता है, ये तो हमको पता था, 800 साल, 900 साल, हमको ये numbers मिल गए थे. लेकिन हमें किसी ने ये नहीं समझाया कि प्लास्टिक कहीं नहीं जाता और कभी भी नहीं जाता. प्लास्टिक सिर्फ छोटा 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 होता जाता है. So it becomes microplastics and then it becomes nanoplastics. And when plastics become nanoplastics, we start ingesting it, which means it goes through our nose as we take our breath, it goes through the food that we eat. And now science has evidenced the fact that plastic microns have been found in human brain the size of a full teaspoon, pura teaspoon. It has been found in the bloodstream of babies. It's been found in what is perceived to be the safest place in the world, which is a mother's womb in human placenta. Now, this is just one example, Malviji, of how reckless we have been in our pursuit for a misplaced idea of progress. And this moment that I had with the UNEP director and the understanding that now for the first time in my life, I am going to have access to science like I have never had before. And I have the opportunity now to use the evidence of science and the tangible solutions, the innovations, to make them accessible to people. Nothing was more empowering than that. Because up until now, I knew there was a problem, but I didn't know there were solutions to the problem. And when you know there are solutions to the problem, it is deeply inspiring and empowering.
So what a wonderful observation दिया, because आपने गंगा की बात की, आपने गंगोत्री की बात की, और गंगोत्री के किनारों पर बैठ के एक सूत्र लिखा गया था भारतीय वेदों में, जिसे कहते हैं जीव जीवस्यम जीवतः, which is a very true example of the biodiversity. And because of this plastic, how the biodiversity of the marine animal is getting disturbed. So, Pradeep.
It's not just marine animals now. So I know 5 years ago, many of us saw an image of a sea turtle with a plastic earbud stuck in its snout. And it really shook systems. And then we realized, oh, okay, now microplastics have made their way into our food chain. So more people started questioning why we weren't managing plastic waste better. But today, there is scientific evidence that the process of photosynthesis in trees has been impacted by the presence of plastics. They are not doing the work that they have done for centuries. They're not able to. So it's disrupting many systems far beyond our understanding at this stage.
That's terrible. That's really terrible.
It's terrifying,
Yeah.
but we are here to uplift and inspire everyone and make sure, of course, it's important to acknowledge the truth, because the only way we can change is if we acknowledge the truth.
Absolutely, that's why you are here. And moving on, very important topic, because corporate जगत की कई companies, कई owners यहाँ पर बैठे हुए हैं, and Gujarat play a very important role in the development of the economic growth of the country. So our today's topic, like profit or planet, like how sustainable leadership can start from the boardroom. क्योंकि मेरा ये मानना है कि जो निर्णय boardroom के अंदर लिए जाते हैं, वही उस कंपनी की, उस राज्य की और देश की दिशा को तय करते हैं. So what is your opinion of that? कि how the corporate companies can work toward the sustainable development and how sustainable leadership can adopt few sustainable actions within the boardroom?
So, I think by now you would have guessed that I am an absolute believer that the only way we can, create change is if we are, as individuals, first informed and are committed at a basic individual level. So, when you think about a company, you're thinking about a large corporation, you're thinking about many entities, but so statistically, 71% of greenhouse gas emissions are created by 100 companies globally. Just 100 companies globally. Of those 100 companies globally, many of those are in India as well. Right? Now, there are a few aspects to the question that you answered. I want to first start off by clarifying that I am not an expert in business. My responses come purely from the place of being first a citizen of the planet, then a mother, and thirdly, as a consumer. I only want to express the kind of future that I hope we can build together. Recently, the Secretary General of the United Nations said something very important. He said, the current economic model is flawed. It needs to be corrected because it is an economic model that has created vast inequalities. The example that I gave you just a minute ago about how only 100 companies, global companies, contribute to 71% of the Earth's greenhouse gas emissions. Write that down, never forget it, because it is the reality that defines every single thing that we experience in our lives every day, including the health of our children and our elderly and our loved ones. So, in my humble opinion, I think what is necessary and the urgency of the time is for us, like you said, Malviya ji, to draw inspiration and seek the values that our ancestors have already generously provided us. India has, through generations, historically known how fragile an ecosystem is and what an intrinsic part we have in playing to protect that ecosystem, and that in our pursuit of material growth, we must never disrupt that ecological system. This is reflected in the Upanishads, it's there in the Arthashastra, it's there in the Vedas. In fact, the first Gajavanas that are even described so well before people even understood what wildlife sanctuaries are, the Arthashastra had already defined what they should be. So we are the land of that wisdom. So it's time we go back to our basics and we go back to our roots and we draw inspiration from those values. And then, of course, we have this extraordinary global blueprint and a resolve that 182 countries came together and adopted unanimously, of which India is a part, which is a commitment to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. And 3 of the primary action points that drive those goals or were part of, kind of adopting those goals were the fact that the world collectively and unanimously agreed that there are 3 things that have to happen. One, that there should be zero poverty. No one should be without food. No one should be without access to clean air, clean water, and education. That the second thing was that everyone should be equal. everyone should have equal access to resources and be healthy. And the third is that none of this will avail to anything if you don't have a healthy planet. So it is our duty to ensure we restore the health of our planet. So I feel whether it's a large corporation or it is an MSME, every single entity has to make the sustainable development goals and ESG, which is environment, social governance, a part of their value system, a part of the a way they approach the process of doing business. The drivers of their business have to be hinged and rooted in these goals, because only then we will be able to truly achieve profit that promotes planetary health. And there is nothing more important than having a healthy environment to live in. Because अभी तो हम सब एयर कंडीशनिंग में बैठे हैं, पर आधे घंटे के लिए अगर हम सब बाहर जाके खड़े हो जाएं और वो काम करने लगे जो डेली वेज वर्कर्स करते हैं, फार्मर्स करते हैं, और तपती हुई गर्मी में उस गर्मी का एहसास करें और फिर इस बात के बारे में आलोचना करें कि ये सिर्फ 1.5 डिग्रीज ओवर प्री इंडस्ट्रियल टेम्परेचर्स हैं। अगर हम 2 डिग्री के ऊपर चले जाएं और जिस तरह से अभी हम चल रहे हैं वो हम 3 डिग्री के ऊपर जा सकते हैं, अगर ये हो जाएगा तो हमारा क्या हाल होने वाला है। सब कुछ, एवरीथिंग वी परसीव एज नॉर्मल, एज ब्यूटिफुल, एज अटेनेबल, as achievable will cease to exist, and no one will suffer more than our children, because this will happen within our lifetime. ये नहीं होने वाला है कि अरे हम तो चल गुजर जाएंगे तब तक, you know, maybe our ancestors, maybe our grandfathers thought like that. I know a lot of people who are like the age of my grandfather who apologize to me regularly saying, we're sorry, we let you down, we didn't make better choices. But it's time now for us to make better choices. And I get deep inspiration and motivation from all the amazing young Indians who are driving business based on deep-seated social impact and values that emerge from that basic respect and understanding that I don't want to make any profit at the cost of planet.
Wonderful thought. I think a huge round of applause to Diya. I think you have touched very important points. And when we talk about the boardroom, we usually find there's a CEO in the company, there's a chief financial officers, there are a CEO of the company. कितनी companies में CEOs हैं? Can you raise the hand? I think CEO in the companies. हमारी किसी company में CEOs नहीं है. राजेश भाई, संदीप भाई, I think we have lots. So we have a CEOs.
We have higher position people here. We have founders, presidents, है ना?
Absolutely. But do you see that there has to, when we talk about the environment sustainable goal ESG, we are talking about the SDGs. So these words are very interesting sometimes. And corporate social responsibility just become a part of annual report in the boardroom. Do you see?
तो इसलिए मैंने कहा ना कि ये जब तक एक इमोशनल मुद्दा नहीं होगा, हम कहते हैं ना कि भारतवासी बड़े इमोशनल होते हैं, वी आर वेरी इमोशनल क्रीचर्स, हमको एक इमोशनल कहानी दे दो, हम कुछ होता है हमें। लेकिन जो प्रकृति रो रही है, जिस तरह से आंसू बह रहे हैं लोगों के, फिर भी वो इमोशन इम्पैक्ट नहीं कर रहा। आई थिंक वी नीड टू स्टेप आउट ऑफ आवर बोर्ड रूम्स and spend time in nature more often. And nature, I believe, will help us make better choices.
नहीं, आपने बहुत सही बात की दिया. I think
हम लोग please feel free to clap. You know, I work with the Wildlife Trust of India, और हर साल मैं आप सबको आमंत्रित कर रही हूँ. हम हर साल CEOs को किसी देश के किसी जंगल में ले जाते हैं. और ऑब्वियसली हमारा यही इनिशिएटिव इसलिए बना कि वी नीड टू काइंड ऑफ गेट कॉर्पोरेट इंडिया टू बिकम मोर इन्वॉल्व्ड इन बायोडाइवर्सिटी प्रोटेक्शन. and help them recognize the linkages between biodiversity protection and social impact, and also understand that biodiversity protection is connected to health, gender equality, climate action, education. And so the first time we were doing that, I remember asking Vivek Menon, कि कैसे करेंगे? How are we going to convince these people? Because will they understand? So he said, we will have to do nothing. Nature will do her work. And I'm not exaggerating when we say this, but we go biannually. So 2 times a year, we take 15, 20 CEOs with us into a forest. And we go on a safari in the morning. By the time we meet in the evening or at night for our meeting, we see inexplicable transformations, because most of these people would have never stepped into a forest in their entire lives. And just that basic interaction in the forest with nature transforms them at levels that even they find hard to describe.
So interestingly, Dia, can we create a position in the boardroom which is called Chief Sustainable Officer? And when you say the Indians are very emotional, and this topic is connected to the emotion. So I visited one company, that Kishore Biyani company, for Future Group. They used to have a Chief Believing Officer. It is called Chief Believing Officer, who makes sure that our organization believe in the Indian tradition. We believe in the sustainable development goal. So do you see that every company and every boardroom should have a CBO and a Chief Sustainable Officer instead of CEOs and CFOs?
Absolutely, without a doubt. But I feel every person who's a part of a corporation has to understand this in their core and want to work towards it. It should become aspirational. Let me give you an example. Mahindra and Mahindra have made sustainability their benchmark. For them, they want to achieve certain goals by 2040. And what they've done is, they've made it very public for every employee in Mahindra and Mahindra to not only commit, but to report all their sustainability actions. And these actions are publicly available. And it incentivizes, it motivates, and it inspires. Now, this is one example of a very big company that has made this kind of decision, but many more can do the same and follow. The point is that every person has to be convinced कि हम लोग 1.5 डिग्री के ऊपर नहीं जा सकते. It is a matter of do or die. And not only will I die, I will kill many more with me.
So आपने बात की कि corporate companies और Mahindra and Mahindra. So Gujarat Chamber of Commerce and Industry majorly consists of SMEs, है ना? So and इंडिया की करीबन 80% अर्थव्यवस्था उसका जो बैकबोन है वो SMEs and MSMEs है. Now यहाँ पर एक क्वेश्चन आता है दिया, क्या सस्टेनेबिलिटी एंड प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी दोनों साथ में चल सकती हैं? क्योंकि ग्लोबलाइज वर्ल्ड में जहाँ पर MSME और SMEs के ऊपर प्रॉफिट के ऊपर प्रेशर होता है, उन्हें अपने प्रोडक्ट को भी डिमांड के हिसाब से मैच करना होता है, और साथ में बात करते हैं कि हमें सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट भी करना है. सो प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी वर्सेस सस्टेनेबिलिटी.
हाँ, तो एक्चुअली बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग सवाल है, बिकॉज दिस क्वेश्चन इज एक्चुअली अ पार्ट ऑफ प्रोपेगेंडा दैट हैज बीन स्प्रेड. Many people have been made to believe that being sustainable is expensive, which is far from the truth. Being sustainable is cost effective. If anything, it reduces your cost. It increases your efficiency. Let me give you an example. When we talk about textile, right, and we bring circularity into textile, there are SMEs that have come up with manufacturing units that are reusing their waste textile, that are managing their wastewater, that are powering with solar. It's brought down their production cost. It's elevated their resource access, because now they have much more material to work with than they did before, because traditionally they would be only working with the yards of cloth that they were working with, right? They wouldn't be working with the small scraps of cloth that they created. So there are more than enough examples of SMEs that have discovered that adopting sustainable practices, bringing circularity into their production is cost efficient and cost effective, and if anything, it improves their everything, the quality of the work that they're doing, it improves their productivity, and it brings a significant change in the environment as well. There are 6 companies that I've personally invested in, because I think it's important to not just promote and advocate for sustainable development, but to invest in it as well. And 3 of the companies are women-led, started by mothers who realized that, you know, there's no one producing what they believe was best for their children. And so one of them is called Shumi. It's a Montessori-based sustainable toy company, started by a mother, and in her 30s. She had very young children, and she was looking for plastic-free toys for her kids, and she looked high and low and she couldn't find anything. And she said, "Chalo, theek hai, main banati hu." And she's doing really well. I'm very proud of her. And my child is growing up playing with those toys, and it gives me so much pride and joy to know that I have a small part to play in empowering her initiative and taking her forward. The other company is called Greendigo. अब जब मैंने ग्रीनडिगो में इन्वेस्ट किया तो मुझे पता चला कि रेगुलर फैब्रिक्स जो नॉन सर्टिफाइड होते हैं उसमें 7,000 से 9,000 केमिकल्स होते हैं. सो माई चाइल्ड वॉज एक्सट्रीमली प्रीमेच्योर बॉर्न, सो आई यूज टू थिंक कि उसकी स्किन पे जो भी जाएगा, बिकॉज द स्किन इज porous, it's actually the first point of absorption. Your skin absorbs everything. So the garment you wear, the cloth you wear, your body absorbs what is in that cloth. So I wanted to put clothing on him which was chemical free. That's how I discovered Greendigo. And then I said, why did you start this? And the founders of the company said, my child was premature. There was nothing in the market that proved to me, certified and tested, that the garments I was putting on my baby were chemical free. And so these are just 2 examples. The third example is of a young boy who has started a company called Without. They basically take multiple layer packaging, which is so hard to deal with, and he's making all kinds of products with it. Sunglasses, jewelry, and really cool looking stuff. Please look it up. It's something I'm very, very proud of.
Also, that's new side of the Diya Mirza. So I would say it's an you are an eco investor. So Gujarat Chamber of Commerce and Industries is having lots of budding and young entrepreneur. We have a youth wing committee in our Chamber of Commerce. So do you see that sustainable companies can attract more talent and more investment in coming time or coming future?
Absolutely. They should and they must. But I also feel that it makes a big difference if governments make knowledge more accessible. Because those who have access to knowledge are doing much better, are able to make better choices. But for the most part, most SMEs don't know better. So how will they do better? It is our job and our responsibility then to create further engagement. And I think this is a great example of that kind of engagement. We need to keep doing this and doing much more, whether it is, online platforms that help. So say, for example, when I register my company, I should instantly get access to this vital information on how I can and must be building a climate resilient and a a company that cares about the environment. And so it's not just about compliance then, it's about caring.
Well said. So the company should not be policy driven. It has to be purpose driven now, because the way we are going towards the development, we need to conserve our environment, and the company must think about the sustainable development. You spoke about the fashion and you spoke about the textile, and since you belongs to the fashion industries, I would like to understand, Dia, do you see there's a shift from conventional fashion to the sustainable fashion?
So actually, Malviji, what's really sad is that the fashion industry produces more greenhouse gases than even the aviation industry. ये सोचा था आपने कभी? This culture of rampant wasteful consumption, fast fashion, कि आज कुछ पहना बोर हो गए उसको निकाल दिया. Of course हमारे देश में अभी तक ये जो प्रथा है पूरी तरह से नहीं आई है, क्योंकि हम में अभी भी हमारे थोड़े बहुत संस्कार बाकी है. लेकिन अगर हम सोचने जाए ज़्यादातर देश में और देशों में यही हो रहा है. तो basically we're creating enormous amounts of textile waste that is the size of entire continents, and it's being shipped off or sent off to developing countries as waste. So I think of course the work that UNEP is doing is to inform the consumer about how terrible wasteful consumption is, not only in terms of fashion but also in terms of food and many other aspects of life. But when it comes to, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि individual choices really matter. तो मैंने कुछ एक 15-20 साल पहले ये डिसाइड किया था कि मैं अपनी निजी ज़िंदगी में सिर्फ वही कपड़े पहनूंगी जो हैंडक्राफ्टेड होंगी और जो वाकई में सस्टेनेबल होंगी. तो केमिकल फ्री डाइज, नेचुरल टेक्सटाइल्स, हैंड वोवन टेक्सटाइल्स. और अब तो मेरी ज़िद ये भी होती है कि जो भी मेरा किरदार होगा जिस किसी भी कहानी में, वो भी यही कपड़े पहनेगा. बिकॉज द पावर ऑफ स्टोरी टेलिंग इज सच कि जो लोग देखते हैं उनको वही अच्छा लगने लगता है और वो समझते हैं कि यही सबसे बेस्ट है. तो अगर हम लोग एक किस्म के, मतलब जो कहते हैं ना, वी आर लाइक मॉडल रिप्रेजेंटेशंस ऑफ व्हाट इज एस्पिरेशनल, देन आई विल मेक ए कट and I will make kachi and I will make every Indian fabric and textile trendy and fashionable and aspirational, and I will make repeating garments the most fashionable thing to do.
So that's wonderful learning, Dia. And moving on towards the personal life, हमारा ये मानना है कि किसी भी देश की जो वैल्यू सिस्टम होता है, जो जनरेशन होती है, उसके संस्कार घरों से ही पड़ जाते हैं. यू आर अ मदर, समायरा आज़ाद आपके साथ रहते हैं. लॉट्स ऑफ पेरेंट्स आर हियर, दे वुड लव टू नो दैट हाउ वी कैन रेज अ इको कॉन्शियस किड, एंड वी वुड लव टू अंडरस्टैंड फ्रॉम योर पर्सनल जर्नी कि आपके घर पर किस तरीके का माहौल आप एक इको कॉन्शियस किड को कल्टिवेट करने के लिए करते हैं.
ये जो इम्बैलेंस हम महसूस कर रहे हैं, एंड आई एम श्योर मदर्स एंड फादर्स ऑफ टीनेजर्स विल आइडेंटिफाई विद व्हाट आई एम सेइंग अ लिटिल मोर राइट नाउ, जहाँ पे एक जद्दोजहद चल रही है ना, उनकी एक ज़िद होती है कि और चाहिए, ये भी चाहिए, वो भी चाहिए, और देयर इज़ नो रियल रिस्पेक्ट फॉर एनीथिंग दैट दे हैव, एंड देयर इज़ दिस सेंस ऑफ एंटाइटलमेंट, एंड इट्स अ स्ट्रगल, एंड पेरेंट्स आर क्वेश्चनिंग व्हाई, हाउ, हम तो ऐसे नहीं थे. एंड देन वी आर सेइंग, ओ ये तो सोशल मीडिया देखते हैं, ये देखते हैं, वो देखते हैं, इनको सब कुछ बहुत आसानी से मिल गया, हमको तो रुकना पड़ता था. अगर मतलब दिवाली आती थी तो नए कपड़े आते थे, दशहरा होता था तो नए कपड़े आते थे, हमको हर हफ्ते या हर महीने जब चाहे घर बैठे जो भी ऑर्डर कर लिया, खाना ऑर्डर कर लिया, ये कर लिया. ये जो फ्रीडम ऑफ कंज्यूमिंग माइंडलेसली बढ़ गया है, इट्स रियली इम्पैक्टिंग द वे our children are functioning in the world. and that then leads to all kinds of other issues. So what I'm trying to do with my children is first and most importantly, help them understand that they're a part of nature, that their identity is not separate from the natural living world. तो वो रोज़ कुछ समय खुले में बिताते हैं, पेड़ों के नीचे, झाड़ियों में, लॉन्स में. हम लोग मतलब Avian is 3.5, he's been to 7 forests of India already. He knows more animal names than he knows car names. And more bird names than he knows human names. So I think interaction with nature is integral because every decision, every choice in life will be born from that understanding, which I was lucky enough to receive, and I hope he gets that from me. The second thing is, वो जब भी खाना खाता है तो 3 लोगों को थैंक यू बोलता है, 3 बार थैंक यू बोलता है. पहला थैंक यू होता है थैंक यू ममा अर्थ. सेकेंड थैंक यू होता है फार्मर, थैंक यू फार्मर. एंड द थर्ड थैंक यू इज फॉर द पर्सन हुज कुक्ड हिज मील. Now, when I started teaching him to say this, he must have been a few months old. खाना खत्म हो जाता था उसका, I would say thank you mama, thank you farmer, thank you whoever has cooked the meal. अब वो खुद से बोलता है, और जब वो बोलता है इस बात का एहसास रखता है कि वो थैंक यू क्यों बोल रहा है. तीसरी चीज़, we avoid giving too many things. Of course we can't control everyone क्योंकि दादू दादी आएंगे तो तोहफे लेकर आएंगे. लेकिन कोशिश यही रहती है कि there is more value assigned to an experience and an interaction over a material gift. We grow trees, we grow vegetables, we have biodiverse plants in our windows, so we have all kinds of birds visiting us. So Avian's view from his room every day is birds and butterflies and bees, and these are invaluable life learnings, and especially urban children में ये बहुत कम होता जा रहा है. And there's something called a nature deficit disorder, which eventually leads to obesity and other health related issues. Nature is a healer. जितना हम अपने बच्चों को प्रकृति से जुड़कर रखेंगे उतना ही अच्छा होगा हमारे बच्चों के लिए.
So wonderful learning, Diya. I think as जोरदार ताली. I think it's a great learning from her, क्योंकि अच्छे जीवन की शुरुआत घर से ही होती है. घर से ही आपके संस्कार बनते हैं, घर से ही आपका वैल्यू सिस्टम बनता है. And I think I'm going to implement all these 3 points to my family as a father of 2 daughters. Moving on, जब हमारे बच्चे schools में जाते हैं, you know, now education play very important role in the development of society and country. हमारे एजुकेशंस में हम लोगों को शायद से सोशल साइंस पढ़ाया तो जाता है, लेकिन वो एक चैप्टर की तरह पढ़ाया जाता है कि बच्चे जाते हैं, उस चैप्टर को पढ़ लेते हैं, उसमें अधिक से अधिक मार्क्स आ जाते हैं. तो हाउ द सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट and ESG goals can be part of the education system, and how schools can contribute a lot to the development of kids.
I actually have a very simple answer to this, and I think because I benefited from interacting so much with nature growing up through my school years, because we grew food, we composted waste, we spent so much time under trees that we took it for granted. But so when anything impacts the environment or nature, we feel it. So I feel the instant solution that we can all actually quite comfortably achieve, and I hope GCCI can inspire municipalities across the country, not just in Gujarat, but across the country, to make all government schools grow food. इससे आपका अर्बन ग्रीन भी बढ़ जाएगा, you know, in all the urban government schools. But इसके साथ साथ जब बच्चे अपना खुद का खाना बनाने मतलब उगाने लगेंगे, they see fruits and vegetables that they've planted, they've nurtured, nourishing them, the impacts of that are far reaching. Then you can have many chapters on SDGs. Those will become realizations and deep understandings because the foundation would be so solid.
So I think what a wonderful suggestion, and as the Chamber of Commerce and Industries, and I would request Executive Committee member and Office Bearer to talk to the municipalities, and we can have such kind of green initiative under the banner of Gujarat Chamber of Commerce and Industry. I think wonderful suggestion, and huge round of applause for this excellent suggestion. Moving on, as an inclusive society. So last question, सोसाइटी लेवल पर एक समाज के रूप में हम कैसे एक सस्टेनेबल लाइफ को जी सकते हैं? मैं ओवरऑल सोसाइटी की बात कर रहा हूँ, उसमें आपका वन टेक फॉर द इंक्लूसिव ग्रोथ ऑफ दिस सोसाइटी.
ये तो मैं पर्सनली 7 पॉइंटर्स शेयर करती हूँ. आई शेयर 7 क्योंकि 7 फेरे होते हैं और एक कमिटमेंट होता है, और there are 7 colors of the rainbow, so it's hard to forget once I help with this association. But we also have something very significant that our Prime Minister has managed to get many nations to adopt, and India was the pioneer of developing this concept. It's called Mission Life, which basically means lifestyle for the environment. So anybody who really wants to understand how just has to go and look up what Mission Life is, and there are many pointers there on how we can lead more sustainable lives. But the 7 things that I practice, and I hope more and more people will, because this is absolutely doable. ये सब कर सकते हैं. थोड़ा inconvenient होता है कभी-कभी, लेकिन ज़्यादातर हो जाता है. And I feel that if 7 billion people are imperfectly sustainable, but everyone tries their best, we will all collectively do much better. So the 7 actions. Action 1, refuse all single-use plastics. Carry your own bottle, carry your own disposable, like carry away mug, carry your own cutlery, your own metal straw. The second action, eat seasonal fruits and vegetables and avoid all packaged fruits and vegetables. Third, replace all CFL bulbs with LED bulbs and ensure the technology that you're using at home is energy efficient and is environmentally compliant. Keep your AC temperature on 23 and not less. Make sure you turn off the mains of all your supplies. So if something is not in use, whether it's a light switch or a water heater or a charger, turn those switches off if they're not in use. Take cold water baths or room temperature baths. Don't heat water through the year. I know people who put the water heater on in the peak of summer. बाहर 45 degrees होगा, लेकिन bathroom में heater लगा के नहाएंगे. The 5th thing that I think we can all do is segregate waste at source. So whether it's your home or your office or your institution or your corporation, whatever it may be, segregate waste and compost all food waste. All your vegetable peels and fruit peels and food waste should be becoming black gold. There's no reason why it should be going into a landfill and helping release methane and polluting the environment. Absolutely no excuse to let that happen. The 6th thing that I think we can all do, any guesses? I only have like people looking at me and smiling. Consume less and waste less. So before you buy anything, think do I really need this? And if you really need it, ask yourself, who made this? How was it made? Where are its ingredients coming from? Is this healthy for my body? If it's healthy for your body, it will be healthy for the planet. If it's unhealthy for your body, it will be unhealthy for the planet. And the seventh and final action is grow more trees. And stop the cutting of old trees. Because it is our ignorance, our arrogance, our ego that makes us think that we can get away by destroying old growth. We can't. No amount of substitute plantations can ever replace the services that an old tree provides. याद रहेगा? सब करेंगे? चलो
हाँ नहीं यार, एक बार जोर से हाँ आनी चाहिए, याद रहेगा ना सभी को.
So
Fantastic.
sweet, thank you.
So thank you so much, Dia. It was a great learning and session with you. I think we are all going to remind this 7 principle, and trust me, कलाकार समाज का आईना होता है. जहाँ पर कई सेलिब्रिटीज, कई कलाकार ऐसे प्रोडक्ट को प्रमोट करते हैं जो न सिर्फ समाज के लिए हानिकारक है बल्कि आने वाली पीढ़ियों के लिए भी हानिकारक है. वहाँ पर आप जैसी कलाकारा, आप जैसी अभिनेत्री जब क्लाइमेट चेंज की बात करती है, ग्लोबल वार्मिंग की बात करती है, सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल की बात करती है, तो मेरा पूरा और पक्का यकीन है कि 2047 में जब हम विकसित भारत रहेंगे तो हम विकसित भारत के साथ साथ सस्टेनेबल भारत का भी निर्माण करेंगे. और सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट,
विकसित भारत बिना सस्टेनेबल भारत हुए नहीं बन सकते.
वंडरफुल टेक फ्रॉम मिसेस दिया मिर्जा. और इस कार्यक्रम के अंत में मैं वाहिद सलीश आपका एक ही पंक्ति कहना चाहूँगा कि कब तक बोझ संभाला जाए, बोझ मतलब क्लाइमेट चेंज का, कि कब तक बोझ संभाला जाए और यह युद्ध कब तक टाला जाए. क्लाइमेट चेंज एक तरह से एक अदृश्य युद्ध की तरह है, तो कब तक बोझ संभाला जाए, कब तक युद्ध टाला जाए. तू भी है राणा का वंशज, आप सभी के अंदर राणा है, आप सभी का हनुमान है, कि तू भी है राणा का वंशज, फेंक जहां तक भाला जाए, फेंक जहां तक भाला जाए. ये जो भाला ये सोलर पैनल का है, ये जो भाला है पेड़ों को लगाने का है, ये जो भाला है वाटर कंजर्वेशन का है, ये जो भाला है जो एनवायरनमेंट का है, तो इसको हम जितनी दूर तक फेंक सकते हैं इसके बीज को, उतना ही ये भारत विकसित रहेगा. और आने वाली पीढ़ियाँ आपको इसके लिए बहुत बहुत रेडी रहेगी, आपके लिए धन्यवाद देगी. वंडरफुल कन्वर्सेशन दिया मिर्जा, इट वॉज सो ग्रेट टू हियर यू. जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत एक बार फिर से करिए मिस दिया मिर्जा. खड़े होकर. शी ट्रूली डिजर्व a huge round of applause from Gujarat Chamber of Commerce and Industry. It was a great conversation with you, Dia. Thank you so much.
Thank you once again, Ms. Dia Mirza, for not only sharing your precious time, but sharing your personal views on sustainability. We are sincerely thank you. Thank you once again. And I would like to invite on stage Ms. Prachi Patwari. Please come upon the stage and felicitate our moderator. Mrs. Prachi Patwari, Chairman Business Women Committee, GCCI. To Mr. Vinod Malaviya. For successfully moderating this session. Thank you once